What's up, guys? Uh, yeah, I'm Robert, and of course I'm running for HvZ admin. I want to do that because I pretty much fell in love with the game last year. Started going to some training missions, really liked what I saw. Played 3 games now, and an invitational, and want to give back to it. I don't really have a lot to say off the top of my head. I figure a lot of that's going to be covered in the questions you guys want to ask. But before I get to those, I'll just say a lot of people are probably worried because I don't have as much experience as a lot of people would like. But the way I see it, you don't necessarily need experience. Sure, to a lot of people it might be a plus, but I feel like if you have the determination, the drive to do it, and the ideas, that there shouldn't be a reason why you couldn't. So, with that said, anyone questions, Mariah?
Based on like how Bauman ran his game, like the player base, like they had to organize stuff themselves. Are you going to keep that going, or are you going to revert back to the system?
A little bit of both. I like the idea of people using their brains, but at the same time, I understand some people don't like doing that. So there's a few things I'm just gonna. There's a few times where I'll just kind of, throw them a mission, tell them, map them through things. But most of the time, I'm gonna want people to think about things. So, David.
Typically, something that's complained about is zombies getting too much information. Do you do anything to sort of limit that?
If zombies have a way to get information, then they're playing smart. If humans are giving up information to zombies, they're not being smart. That's pretty much my thought on the matter.
We were given no intel this last game, and we figured it all out for ourselves.
Because we're bosses.
Heck yeah, we are.
So yeah, anyone else? Jennifer?
Winter play.
Winter assault?
Nope.
What? Actually, point of order, I was actually hoping to speak with whoever is the HvZ admin, because the first Winter Assault was actually my thing, and I was actually going to see about doing something similar to that again this year, but it is, of course, up to the HvZ admin, so. Point of order.
Brian?
You're gonna be HvZ.
Yeah, I'll be admin.
We've already experienced this question once, but in a different context, in the context of what happens. If you are elected HvZ administrator, how are you going to fuck up the spring semester game?
How am I going to mess up the game?
That is a very serious question.
I understand it. I remember you asking me this quite a while ago, actually. But let's see. By putting too much faith in making things too open, giving people too many chances, and them not knowing what to do with it. Pretty much not putting enough direction in. Lemmy?
You were talking before about how you felt that determination and kind of goodwill would get you through this. Running a game this scale that actually is dare say, probably the only thing that keeps this organization going a lot of times, is kind of a really important and very, very time-consuming task. And I mean, you haven't moderated before, and I'm just curious, have you run other games like this, and how do you feel like this may or may not hurt you in terms of being able to coordinate up to 250 some odd players?
Well, of course, I've never run anything that big, of course. I did the first Battle Royale this semester. I mod for CTF, and I ended up running one once. Let's see, I modded at an invitational. So I've done things to a degree, but not this big of a scale, I guess. But then again, I wouldn't be doing it alone. Of course, I would have a mod staff there with me. So I think that would kind of help things. Alex?
I know everyone has a classification for themselves if they're pro-human, pro-zombie. What side of that spectrum would you throw yourself into, and how would you think it would affect your game?
If I had to choose one, I would say I'm pro-zombie. That's probably because I've spent most of my time playing as a zombie. And because of it, I understand a lot of the gripes zombies end up having when they don't have enough to do. So I would probably be adding more things for the zombies to do, like having more objectives and missions for zombies too. Dave?
especially over like the past 4 or 5 semesters, we've seen a variation in more traditional games versus more like Brian's and Lemmy's and Paul's versus more revolutionary game systems, if you will, like Peter's. What can we expect from you? Do you lean more towards the traditional game system, or do you lean more towards a revolutionary system?
Well, let's see. Looking back on my 3 games of experience, 2 of those were of the revolutionary type, and 1 of them was of the traditional type, as you put it. So, but despite that, I don't know. It's gonna be a mix of things. I'm not really looking at it in terms of traditional or revolutionary. I'm just kind of like doing it a game as I would do it. Whether it falls into one or the other, it remains to be seen. Cole?
Okay, so one thing about HvZ that I've noticed compared to like CTF especially, HvZ hasn't really corroborated with an outside group other than like anthropology class that they brought in that one time. Do you have any sort of plan to make it a co-group event or have something that does with co-grouping, whether it be like a training mission that's advertised through RHA or something to that effect?
Well, yeah, we got the residence halls to put up posters for this past semester. So getting them to advertise for training missions and stuff would be pretty easy, I would think. As far as like the anthropology thing that happened in Peter's game, I would like to see that happen again. And maybe get some more, maybe run an event that's like with Capture the Flag or something like that, or some other organization, tie in some other people and get more people involved. Alicia?
Okay, kind of what you were talking about with, having done this very much before. I'd like to say before phrasing this question that I was a mod for the only game ever run by a freshman administrator, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. What I'd like to know is, what are you looking for in a mod staff? Kind of explain to me how that mod staff works together, what kind of people you're planning to bring on.
Well, for one, I want a group of people with a lot of different personalities, more or less. I don't want anyone who's just going to agree with everything I say and not contribute. I want people who will be able to stand up and tell me, no, this is bullshit, don't do that. And if it comes to it, possibly backhand might be thrown in there once or twice. But I want everyone to be able to bring something different to the mod staff, a lot of diverse thinking and vocal people, more or less.
And how are you, what kinds of responsibilities are you planning? Like, how much are you giving to them? There's, I guess, like in the last few games, you've probably seen diversity of how these staffs are run. How are you planning on running yours?
Basically, though, even if I were to write up a lot of things myself, pretty much everything would be, I would throw everything up for debate with them as well, because, of course, if I might see everything is right with something, someone else might see something wrong with it. So I'm going to put it in front of everyone else, and we'll all make changes to whatever. Right?
In the past, we've seen some like severe cases of unsportsmanlike behavior. When severe complaints are brought to you and it's repeatedly about the same person, what are you going to do about that person? Like, are you going to confront them directly, or are you just going to let it go?
Well, if it's repeatedly the same person, then obviously that person has a problem. So you would sit them down first and talk to them one-on-one, and if the problem persists after that, then you might actually have to ban them. And I'd be willing to do that if it came to it.
If I thought you could just
I don't accept bribes.
Rip shot.
Lily?
Go around.
Okay. Alex?
If someone was wanting to be a moderator for you, how would they go about getting hold of you to let you know? Would it be an open application, or would it be talk and choose?
I'm most likely going to do an application process like Brian did the last semester, and then talk to people one-on-one and see who would work the best for what I'm looking for. Do you remember now?
What is the role of an HvZ administrator in your eyes? Just give me a rough description of what you feel your responsibilities and duties are to the
Our responsibilities as an HvZ administrator would be to, along with the mod staff, help plan and put on the biggest event that the Urban Gaming League does on